I have friends now who talk about the fact that they go commando, and I'm like, girl, I'm not one of those people because, I'm juicy. That's what they say. I'm juicy. Meaning I got fluid, you don't. I'm not going commando, but Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Truth and Tonic for Women. Thanks for joining us today. So today, we are going to do kind of a follow-up from our birth control episode and tie in some hygiene and some questions, and hopefully you guys will get in on the discussion because I'm sure that today will completely freak some people out a little bit. But anyway, we're here today with Tiff.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
How you been?
Good. Just enjoying summer.
Summer is hot.
It is hot today. It is so hot today.
Humid.
The girls and I are going to build a pond, and we were going to work on it tomorrow during the day, and we decided we're going to work on it at like midnight.
I let my dog out, and the humidity kind of slapped me in the face. So
his curly hair got curlier.
Yes, and all this curliness doesn't like humidity.
No.
But anyway, we have a big show, so we're going to start the show out like we usually do with a little, question or two. What do you think you're going to get this time? Yes, you have to be honest.
I know. I wasn't even going to ask.
Okay. You went first.
Okay, you're going to ask me first.
Yes.
Okay.
What was your most embarrassing experience? Let's see if I know this.
I don't know. I don't know that I get embarrassed.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. That's so weird. Maybe I don't do things that are embarrassing. Okay. Maybe, no, I really can't. Can you think of one? For me?
Embarrassing. I mean, like, nothing? How is that even possible? I mean, did you ever go and hit on somebody and get shot down?
Okay, I think I was pretty embarrassed one time when I was dating this guy and we were supposed to meet at a party. And he showed up and everybody knew we were dating and everybody knew that we were going to meet there because we always met there. And he showed up with another girl.
What? Do I know this person?
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about too.
And then I slapped him and he laughed and I slapped him again. And then I walked off. You would know it. I'm not going to say.
To be with your friends.
Yeah. I think I was pretty embarrassed. And I think that I was pretty embarrassed that he would show up.
And do that
to me.
Yeah.
And I probably reacted the way I did out of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Because I probably wanted to be
that's
tough.
A pretty strong reaction. I
think I wanted to be like, oh, this is no big deal.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me, but I'm going to.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. We'll talk about that offline.
I like it.
Okay, you ready?
No, but okay.
Name the top 5 qualities you believe you provide in a relationship.
Okay.
It doesn't say
honesty.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Well, 5 is a lot. I'm not saying that we don't have 5 good qualities, but to bring to a relationship.
Okay. I think I bring honesty. I think that for the people who know me, I'm pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like I can make you giggle.
Yeah, you are funny.
I think I bring stability. Like I am just, if I'm nothing.
Stability?
What did I do?
Stability.
Stability. Exactly.
You bring that too.
I bring that. I bring them both. I am a creature of habit. So like
I think you do bring stability.
Yeah. Stability is like that thing. Yeah. 2.
You bring a lot of knowledge, though. You're smart.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, okay, that was so wrong. But you know what? And we're gonna do
Okay, maybe knowledge isn't the right
We're
word.
gonna do a podcast about this, about insecurities. Like, okay, I'm knowledgeable. Like, why don't I own my knowledgeable? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like one of those things. Like, well, maybe I'm not as smart as who. Okay, knowledge. I bring knowledge. I own that. That was pretty bad.
You
of me.
bring drive.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's talking about friendship relationships or
Yeah.
husband and wife, but
Yeah.
I think like you and Steven are all like, we're going to have a whiteboard session. You're what? You're going to have a whiteboard session? What the hell is that? You're
Trying to
married. That's your husband.
Trying to figure out life.
I mean, if Kelly and I had a whiteboard session, it would be a hot mess.
I literally have to say that I love a syllabus. I love gotta follow,
Yeah.
gotta have your next thing. I love a syllabus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I knew 3 of them and my bestie knew the other 2. So there you go. There's your 5.
I filled in your
Yeah,
blanks.
Yeah, thank you. That's what you're there for. Okay, so this is what happened. My godchild saw the episode that we did on birth control, and she's 16. And after that episode, she had all kinds of questions about exams. She wanted to know about oral sex. She wanted to know, how do you stop from having oral, an STI, just all the questions. So it's like, wait, what? I wasn't ready. So we thought that we should circle back around and kind of go into some details and
well, I think it led to a whole conversation with a group of people that just happened to be in the same room and happened to be all different ages.
So I think that we were like a 40-year span.
Yeah.
All coming at things from a different perspective.
Yes.
So
100%.
One of the things that came to our knowledge today was that college age people and students, because not everyone chooses to go to college.
Yes. Yeah.
Are relying on Jesus to save them from pregnancy. I don't know what that means, except for, I guess we're doing a lot of like Hail Marys and please Jesus, don't let it be me.
Where and I have to jump in and say this, like some people do practice that.
What?
Like
Jesus?
No, yeah, Jesus. But
when
like,
they're married.
Okay. So what, yes. Like
So
they rely on the
college.
method. Yes. But I wanted to make it clear when you said some people rely on that.
Yeah.
Yes, some people
and this
do.
Is specific right now in this moment.
If you're in college, you don't need to rely on anything.
College age students. So, so some of the things that we heard today was, God has me. Well, if you use a condom, it lowers
your testosterone.
Yes. Okay. I don't know where that came from. It does. You can't feel it. I mean, I think that's been around for forever. Can't wear a raincoat.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that saying though? It's something about a condom and a ring. Anyway, so basically they're saying that if you use a condom, the men can't feel the sensation that they really want to.
But we can't say whether that's true or not. But
yeah. And the other thing that was startling to me is that women are having sex with multiple partners without a condom. That stood out to me.
I think just the fact that women have, okay, not going to judge.
Yeah.
But
no judgment.
No. But I think that what was discussed with the people we were talking to was that people are having more sex with more partners than ever before.
And not only are women having more sex, or maybe they're not having more sex, but
more partners.
We're hearing about the fact they're having more sex with more partners, even multiple partners in the same day. Like it was kind of like, what is going on right now? What? And all of this with no condom.
Well, yeah, and I think it comes down to self-respect
Yes.
first and
Yes.
your safety. You know, you have to realize that you're in charge of yourself.
Yeah.
You're in charge.
Self-govern.
And you can get something that you will keep forever. And I know we touched on that and we said that before, but I think that what the feedback we were kind of getting was that people's opinions of birth controls or how to not get an STI are so different.
Yes.
And I think people aren't getting good information. And so I know, like with my own children, they are fortunate enough to have Tracy in their life when it comes to stuff about their bodies. And I've said, if you don't feel comfortable talking to me or even your dad, you need to find an adult that is knowledgeable or that will help you get the right answers, because we all love to talk to our friends. And I know when you and I were younger, we could talk and we didn't know everything, and we would talk and we would hear things.
Right.
And we would believe everything we heard. Well, not everything, but you believe what you hear. And when you hear it multiple times, you believe it more. But my thing was like, it's fine to talk to your friends because that's who you need to talk to and trust.
But your friends
but
don't
if you
always
need,
know
but
the
if you
correct
need the correct information, like when this particular child, young adult in this house today said that his friend said that wearing a condom lowers your testosterone. I mean, I'm not a doctor,
but I mean, it doesn't even.
But I mean, how does that even? How would that even be possible?
So let me start from the beginning. This is not about shaming anyone who has a healthy libido and they want to have sex multiple times a day with multiple people, right? But there is a certain way that you should go about that, and hygiene is very important. So let's just start there, right? So if you are going to engage in sex with multiple people in one day, not even one day, every day you have
a different
partner, right? You want to make sure, if you're not going to use a condom, which I'm going to state again, a condom is the best way to protect against an STI, a sexually transmitted infection, and pregnancy. With a method of birth control, you double your chances of not getting pregnant, right? Because nothing is 100%. So you want to wear a condom. You want to clean your vagina. Okay? So if you're not wearing a condom and your partner is Tiffany.
I can't. It's crazy.
And your partner no, I'm just saying your first partner.
Yeah, okay.
You're not wearing a condom. What is left behind is your partner's semen, okay? Semen goes into the vagina and it seeps back out of the vagina, meaning you don't just ejaculate into your partner and the semen runs out, right? It's not like a 2-minute thing. You have semen in your vagina for hours after you have sex. So, and I know that's probably hard to hear, but we're going to pull up some statistics and let you know how long semen can stay in the vaginal vault. So, what I'm saying, if you're going to have sex and you're not going to use a condom and you have sex at 8 a.m., you have sex with someone different at 5 p.m., remnants of that first partner are still in your vagina.
Is that why you say who your baby daddy?
Exactly, but there's something to that too, right? Usually the first person you have sex with is going to be the parent of that child, because your body will try to get rid of the secondary,
okay,
unknown specimen.
So I don't know what source that is, but that says 5 days.
Sperm can live inside a woman's body for up to 5 days. 5 days. So if you're giving it 5 hours, that's pretty, yeah, you're going to have to do some personal hygiene for that situation. So we all know as women, we've had sex. I'm assuming most people have done fellatio. We know that
this is clear blue.
There is a smell and there is a taste to semen. So your partner knows, like your second partner, they have an idea of what's going on. If he's fine with it and you're fine with it, everyone's fine with it. But I just want everybody to know that you're probably not fooling anyone if you think that, partner B is not going to know about partner A if you're having sex in the same day. That's the first thing. The second thing is chlamydia, gonorrhea are infections that you will not know someone has unless tested, probably 90% of the time. Sometimes people get chlamydia, gonorrhea, guys get it, they have a burning, they have an itching, they have to go to the doctor. But a lot of times it can be asymptomatic.
But even burning sometimes is just a
average UTI. And a UTI is a urinary tract infection, which sometimes can mirror other types of infection, like a yeast infection.
What happens if those go untreated?
Which one?
Like chlamydia.
Chlamydia, gonorrhea, left untreated, can leave you infertile. Infertility is, one of those main symptoms of having a long-term STI that was never addressed. The thing about chlamydia and gonorrhea is they're easily treated with an antibiotic. So you could go and have some other type of infection, a tooth infection or some other infection, and be on the same medication that you would take for chlamydia, gonorrhea, and you can cure it that way, but not necessarily when you had the initial infection. So another thing that people don't realize, herpes. So herpes simplex virus, there's a 1 and a 2. So simplex 1 is a cold sore. Simplex 2 is usually on your genitalia, whether it's penis, vagina, buttocks, but you can get it around those areas, right? You can, a guy can get herpes and have a cold sore, which is now a blister when it goes down to your genitalia on his testicles. He can have it above his penis. He can have it, from.
But what you're saying is the herpes that is a cold sore is not related to the sexual or the vaginal herpes. It's the same. It's the same.
It's the same virus. So what usually happens, this is going to be a roundabout way of saying that 1 can turn into 2 and 2 can turn into 1.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So a cold sore, which is simplex 1, can turn into simplex 2 if you are having oral sex when you have a cold sore with your partner. They can have herpes. That's literally basically how these two became interchangeable. So you have a cold sore and you're thinking, oh, it's not a big deal, but you can then turn your cold sore into herpes on the genitalia. The other thing about that is herpes is a virus, which means that before you even get the cold sore, before you even get the virus, you are shedding the virus. So 7 days, up to 7 days before you get the cold sore or before you get the blister. And the people who have herpes, they know this. They get a tingling or they get an itchiness before that blister lesion appears. You're shedding the virus, and that is when you're passing herpes on to the other person.
So another check for a condom, because if you were to wear a condom, person A could not pass it to person B.
Yes.
Most likely.
Most likely. Most likely it's not 100%. The virus is very small.
Well,
Sometimes
it's better
it can
than
pass
not.
through condoms, or you have that lesion, like I said, outside of that region that the condom is on, and all you need to do is rub up against that. You know what I'm saying? So skin, yeah, that blister, it's that
Skin,
that
oozing.
along with that, the shedding of the virus. So, you may not have sex with anyone when you're having a lesion, but 7 days before that, you were contagious.
So let's talk about misnomers,
Yeah.
like myths, or
Okay.
what you have heard about different ways to get these different STIs.
So I've heard all types of things, and mainly it's when I have a patient that comes in and I have to tell her she has herpes, she has chlamydia, she has gonorrhea, she has trick, like these sexually transmitted infections, and they have a conversation with their partner, and the partner says, well, I must have gotten it from the towel when I was at the gym, at the sauna, or on the toilet seat. No, there's sexually transmitted infections, which means you have to be in a sexual encounter to get them. If someone comes to you and says, honey, I didn't cheat on you, I got this from the toilet seat, they're lying. And I have had plenty of angry husbands and boyfriends tell me that I was a liar, this, that, and the other, all up in my face. And I simply say to the woman, you cannot get any of these from a toilet seat. You just can't do it.
You're messing around with somebody.
Yes.
You might not be having intercourse.
Yes.
But you are definitely messing around with somebody.
Yes.
Some way, shape, or form.
I had a patient, to explain this, I had a patient postpartum, comes in for her visit, and I have to tell her that she has chlamydia.
Oh,
and
she had just had a baby.
She had just had a baby. I mean, you come postpartum visit 4 weeks after you have a baby, and I tell her,
you had to test her for chlamydia?
We do an exam.
Okay.
And so she had to come back in after the exam so I can tell her. I said, you have chlamydia. And she literally went from the happiest patient that I have ever witnessed to completely just stone-faced. And I said to her, something in my soul said to say to her, you have a newborn. You cannot go to jail over this. And she looked at me and she said, how were you reading my mind? Like, I want to kill him right now.
Girl, I mean, I can't even.
So, yeah. So she was just like, how did I get here? And I think that we also had that discussion, could he have gotten this?
That's what I want to know.
Another way. And I'm like, only way.
Or could
the only way.
What if he had it in what if he had it 10 years before her, before he even met her? Are there reoccurrences without new sexual contact? Like if he had untreated chlamydia, could it show up in a partner 10 years later?
So I'm going to say no, because while I say that chlamydia, gonorrhea is asymptomatic, if it went on for too long, you would end up at a doctor's office, whether just because it's an infection. But herpes. So herpes is one of those things, like I said, it's a virus. Usually it's brought on, it reoccurs. So herpes reoccurs and you can never get rid of it. This is what my godchild wanted to know, like, can you get rid of all STIs? So herpes is one that you do not get rid of. Once you have it for life. And it's one of those viruses or infections that it's your responsibility as a human to have a conversation with a partner and say, listen, I have herpes. I don't have an outbreak right now. When I do, I take Valtrex is usually what we give you. But the reason why it's so widespread is that people don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation with their partner that says, I have herpes and I could possibly give it to you and you're never going to get rid of it, right? So that's one thing. So herpes, HIV, once you have, you don't get rid of it. A virus, it's there to stay. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, trick, BV, these things, antibiotics, it's cleared up just like that. Syphilis, just like that. It's like one penicillin, quickly, syphilis. Syphilis not treated, you could end up dying.
Yeah.
It's serious, but it's still out
So
there.
if chlamydia is asymptomatic,
yes.
and you're
sometimes.
Okay.
But sometimes people have symptoms.
But if it's asymptomatic and you get chlamydia when you're 20 from somebody.
Yeah.
And then you're 40 and you're married. And
chlamydia is not going to stay around. At some point in 20 years, you're going to have an antibiotic. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's an like you have a toothache.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have signs and symptoms at some point.
So it's highly, highly unlikely that you would ever transmit chlamydia from a past partner.
20 years? No. 10 years? No.
Okay.
But what is likely is that you didn't get treated for the chlamydia and now you are 30 and you want to get pregnant and you have scarring in your fallopian tubes because of this infection that wasn't treated early enough.
Okay. So I guess I was thinking from the male perspective, like your patient is probably
they can have fertility issues also.
Right. But I mean, after she'd had her baby, she was probably desperately looking for answers of like why she has chlamydia outside of like your husband just cheated on you while you were pregnant or right after you gave birth.
Yeah.
No, she was probably really looking for answers. I mean, I would be.
Well, that's the answer.
That's the answer.
Yeah. And with most of these things, the male, whether it's the male giving it to a woman or a woman giving it to a male, it's like the same difference.
It's interchangeable.
It's interchangeable. So you're a woman, you have sex with a guy a month ago, don't wear a condom, you have chlamydia, and you have a new partner a month later, you give it to your new partner. Just like your partner could have had sex with Susie down the street, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, or a day ago. And she didn't know she had it. And nothing is abnormal about anything downstairs. And then she has sex with, Rachel. Now Rachel, Susie, and you all have chlamydia, gonorrhea.
Okay. So all of that really does make sense. If you look at the bigger picture of it, it's a lot of multiple sex partners, not taking care of yourself, not paying attention to symptoms if you have them, not wearing protection.
Yes.
So we talked about in that other episode, like the birth control pill, and there are certain things that prevent against pregnancies, but really the condom is the one thing that prevents. And there are male condoms and there's female condoms.
Exactly. That's true. So we have the best way to protect is condoms, whether it's a female condom or a male condom, and we'll get into that in a second. But what I want to say is chlamydia, gonorrhea, trick, those things are transmitted by vaginal fluid, right? So that's why we're saying you can't get it on a toilet. So semen lives inside the vagina for up to 5 days that we just saw. But on surfaces, it's not the same. So it's a hospitable environment in your vagina or on your penis. Inside your penis as well, because the penis has an opening. So bacteria, infections get up inside the shaft of the penis. So vaginal fluid, that's how you get herpes. That's how you get chlamydia, gonorrhea. If you are, putting your finger in semen after you climax and you're rubbing your eyes and your nose and all that kind of stuff.
What about when people with chlamydia or something like that ejaculate places?
Yeah, exactly. You can get this infection. And this is why this is important when you're pregnant. This is why we test you from chlamydia, gonorrhea, and all of those things. A baby coming down your vaginal canal with chlamydia, gonorrhea, it gets in their eyes, it gets in their nose, it can cause blindness, it causes infections. Like it's the fluid and it causes infections. It's very dangerous, especially to babies. They have no immune system. So it's important when your doctor says we want to test you for A, Y, B, Z, and W, let them, because it's for the health of your child. We're not trying to shame you. We're trying to make sure that you don't have a child that's blind, have infections, get sepsis, which is a blood infection that's very hard to treat. Infections are very, very serious. So I did also want to comment on, a lot of people don't know that there are female condoms. So whereas a male condom you slide on, for the female, it works more like a tampon. So you have 2 rings, and the condom, to see if you can
That's what I was gonna say.
show a picture. The condoms, you kind of like push the condom into the vaginal canal, so there is a layer of protection from the outside up to the cervix. So you have a condom that starts at the beginning of the vagina and goes all the way to the cervix. So when the penis goes in, it kind of goes in with a protective barrier around it. I feel like it's kind of like a slinky. You know what I mean? Like, like 2 ends, 1 end goes in, and then you pull the whole thing out. Right here.
What about an image?
This right. Oh,
We're not shopping.
Well, I know, but there's an image. Go down. There it is. Get that one right there.
This one?
Yeah.
And scroll with 2 fingers.
That's what it's slinky, right? It's like this. I hope I'm not flashing anyone. That stays outside.
Well, it's just like a condom.
It stays outside the vagina. That goes all the way in the vaginal wall. And it's right here. So the top of it is closed, so it captures all that semen. And then when you pull it out, it all comes out in a whoosh.
Okay, so now I want to say something about the difference between when a guy says, I'm not using a condom because I doesn't feel that great. And you're, as a female, like, you say, okay, because you give into it, it doesn't feel as great. Okay, that could be a fact. I'm not a male. I don't know. I mean, males that I've talked to have said that is very true. It's a valid argument. And I get it. But you're talking about your health. You're talking, as a female, you're talking about maybe being pregnant, which as a female, you're pregnant for 9 months and then you have a child to raise
for 18
years if you choose to do that.
Yeah.
As the male could very easily leave, like, I'm done. I didn't ask for this.
Right.
Well, you kind of did.
Yeah.
You were there, but
no, God was leading them.
But
it was God.
You're a teenager, or you're in a relationship and you're a young adult or an older, you're any person, and you say to somebody, we need to use a condom, and they say no.
Okay. So this is what I can tell you. This is what I say to my patients, and it's twofold. One thing that I start with is that you have to be your own best advocate for your health. You have one life, you have one body. If you are not able to have a discussion about what's important for your body, as in, if you are not able to say to someone, I don't want to have a sexually transmitted disease, so therefore you need to use a condom, you're not ready to have sex. That
if you can't say
if you can't say those
to
words,
that person,
then you're not ready to have sex, because sex is a grown-up thing that you need to have grown-up conversations for. And I'm not saying grown-up as in age. I'm saying grown-up as in maturity, right? So you need to be able to speak for yourself. The other thing that I can say, there are things and ways to see if it is the condom, right? So if your partner says, hey, I don't feel anything, the sensation is dimmed and I can't stay erect. So do you have the right size condom? Try a different brand. Try lambskin. Like, people are allergic to condoms. A lot of people come in and say, I can't use condoms because I'm allergic. It's very prevalent. It happens all the time. So I'm saying allergic to latex. So lambskin is your alternative to that. Female condoms, maybe they feel differently with a female condom than they do with, a male condom. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like this. You want to enjoy sex. It's meant to be enjoyed.
Yes.
If you're not married and you're having sex, you have to make that decision. Do I chance it because my partner feels like he's not feeling the sensation? He's tried different sizes, different brands, different this, different that. That's a decision that you have to make, but knowing that you have these things that could possibly happen.
If you knew you were in a long-term
committed
relationship, monogamous,
long-term and not committed.
Yeah, monogamous.
Yeah.
I would think it would be okay for you to say, okay, we're at the stage where we're not going to use condoms anymore. Yeah. I'm on birth control. I'm not going to get pregnant. I think you could easily say, let's go both get tested.
I think that is an excellent point. And it's one that I've used. I have dated someone that used the same thing with me. Like, do you want to get tested? Now, I'm one of those people that I'm like, no, you need to use a condom right now.
Test away, buddy.
Here's the thing. All you women out there, use your voice. This is what I'm talking about. This is what this community is for. It's for us to empower you to use your voice. If you want to have a relationship with someone and you want to take it to that next level and you don't want to use condoms, it is perfectly okay for you to say, listen, let's go get tested.
And if you're with somebody who says no,
then you don't want to have sex with them anyway. I had a very good friend in New York, speaking of this conversation, and I just remembered it. We were very good friends, and she did not like condoms. And what she did was, anytime she was in a relationship and she was going to take it to the next level, she says, I'm going to go get tested. I will bring you my results. You go do the same and we'll meet in the middle. And no one ever had a problem with that. And if you don't want to do that, you can make it a date night and go get tested together. You can do that. You can do it free at most health clinics. The one thing that I do want to tell you is that if you get tested on day 1, I want you to go back and get tested on day 3, because you might not show up on day 1. You meet on day 1 and he slept with someone 5 days before or 2 days before. It might not show up in that, in that 7-day period. So I would suggest doing a pre and a post, like,
yeah. And I think anybody in
1 to 15 or 1 to 30 days
is gonna be okay with that. If you're
it's
out of
not
the bar,
a reasonable ask.
No.
It's like, you don't want something, I don't want something, and we want to enjoy the cookies at the end. Let's go get a test. I mean, here's the thing. I think, and I've heard, I don't know for sure, but I hear even your high class or your middle class prostitute comes with papers. Like, they get tested. Porn stars are supposed to get tested because, they're going bareback no matter what. So if a porn star, if a prostitute who engages in sex on a regular basis with strangers don't find a problem with getting tested, you shouldn't either. Don't let anyone tell you that's not something you should ask for. I mean, I would run screaming from somebody that doesn't want to go check and see if he has anything.
Yeah, I think they would be,
Yeah.
he or she would
What are you hiding,
be
mister?
hiding something or be scared of what they're going to find. I also really think that when you're young and you're having sex with somebody you meet at a bar, or maybe you are dating somebody for just a little while, but you don't know if they're dating somebody else, or, there's a million reasons and a million circumstances, but you have to just remember that some of this stuff you can take with you for your life.
Yeah.
And can cause you a lot of problems. And I know that I think
that women get the lesser end of the stick, so to speak. And what I'm saying is, if you're a guy and you're gorgeous and you're 6 feet tall and you make 100, plus a year and you have herpes, a woman's going to get over it. Let me rephrase. Not every woman, because no, I don't care. But some women will be like, okay, I'm going to be with him. We'll both have it and live happily ever after. You switch that and you're a woman and you're gorgeous and you have this, that, and the other, and you tell this guy that you have herpes, he's going to be like,
see ya.
Nope. I have like Jenny Joe and Bobby Sue. I'm in the South. Is that why I'm doing Southern names? Like, I don't understand.
Yes.
Rachel, Ashley, down, like, women. It's awful, but it's true. Men are always going to have the upper hand when it comes to an STI. Like, it is what it is. You have to protect yourself because nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody.
Yes. It just takes a condom.
It takes, a condom or a test.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking about the people that are out there that are not in relationships that want to sleep around. I mean, I'm not saying.
I mean, here, like, we're in this era, right, where we have Google. Look, we just pulled up Google on a podcast, and I know people listening can't see what we pulled up, but you could go to YouTube and check us out. We live in an age where there are options, there are multiple sources of information. You can get your groove on, so to speak, and do it in a manner that protects you. Like, if you, I want to say this, I'm trying to say that you might want to sleep with this guy over here because he's hot and like blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't want to go get a test. 2 days later, guy B,
he's hot,
but he'll go get a test and you're both safe for life. Like, you have to remember what you do.
Is that 15 minutes of not wearing a condom worth it?
You have to remember that you have the rest of your life, right?
Or so 2 minutes.
Yeah. I was like, 15 minutes, girl, what are we doing? Like, that's a lot.
That's a long time.
It's a tad. But what I'm saying is, it's like, say you make this decision at 16, 17, 18, 25. You don't want to use a condom, and now you don't want to go get tested, and you find the man of your dreams in your 30s. And now you can't get pregnant because you had chlamydia, gonorrhea, didn't get treated, or you have herpes. So you got to sit down and tell him, or maybe you don't tell him. And he goes to the doctor because something's wrong with his junk. And he's like, I didn't cheat on her. Like, what's going on? Because herpes is that thing you carry for 20 years, because we say it's reoccurring because it's a virus. It's usually brought on by stress or things like that. But some people have an outbreak once, never have an outbreak again, and shed a virus. Now your wife's pregnant and she comes in, now she has herpes, and she's like, what's going on here? And this guy didn't even know because we said in the last podcast, so it's usually a blister, but men can typically have like a red pimply thing on their penis or around their penis or on their testicles and not know that it's herpes. And then it's dormant for a couple years. You get married not thinking anything of it, and now you can't have a vaginal delivery because you have a lesion on your vagina. So
there's a whole bunch of stuff.
There's like a lot of moving pieces with this whole sexual health.
Right. And I think we could talk for a long time about it. But I think what's also important to know is that please go to a source that you know is knowledgeable. It can be embarrassing to talk about, and that's okay, but everybody needs to have that somebody that they can get the right answers from, because even though we can Google stuff, I mean, yeah, we just showed a picture, an image, and that's fine. But if we were going to sit here and talk to you about real, like, serious statistics, we would have said, okay, let's validate the website and let's make sure the website's right.
CDC, the CDC website, but like, has all this information.
To hear things about kids saying they lose testosterone if they use condoms.
I mean,
that's
or
not
that
real.
God has me.
Yeah, okay, God might have you, but you're gonna have to. But you,
what do you mean? God might have them? No.
I'm talking about in life.
Okay, yeah, saying, God has you in life. He does not have you with you trying to like not get pregnant without a condom. Because
God was like, "Oh, okay. Don't get her
not
pregnant."
Him, not you. Like,
no, do not. No, you need to be safe.
Doug, Goose. No, he's not doing that, guys. He's not doing that.
You need to be smart, and you need to realize that there are real risks.
I don't think that you need to be smart. I think you need to respect your body.
Okay, yes.
You need to respect what you have.
You need to respect the other person you're about to sleep with.
Yes, because like I said, the decisions that you make today affect your life tomorrow. Yes. It's not one or the other. It's a linear thing. Right? So if you have unprotected sex, that's within your right to do so. But the effects down the line can affect you and your children.
Yeah, so you have to take care of your body. You have to always take care of your body. You need to take care of your hygiene. You need to make sure you're clean. I mean, you don't want...
Now that you said hygiene, now I got to say a couple things about hygiene. Okay. So the vagina. I feel like it's a little miracle in itself, right? Because first of all, we have menses, which means that we're women. So it can bleed. Okay.
Yeah. Your vagina doesn't bleed.
Yeah. Okay. She's right. Yeah. Blood comes out of your vagina. You have a baby out of that vagina.
It does a lot.
It does. It creates life. I mean, it doesn't create life, but it delivers life. That's a very good thing. It delivers life. So, yeah. So, what I want everyone to know is that the vagina, the cookie,
I never call it
the diamond, the goodies,
diamond in a rough.
It's self-cleaning, people. Self-cleaning. No douching.
See, when you said self-cleaning earlier, listen, girl, when you said self-cleaning earlier, I thought about it.
Well, okay. When I say self-cleaning, it does not mean that it does not need water and soap to flow over it. What I'm saying is, don't get some soap.
You don't need to put stuff up in your vagina.
And like put your fingers in your vagina trying to clean stuff out. Okay. So I've had that.
Internal is self-cleaning. The external needs a little help.
So what I'm saying is, if you think that if you sleep with Bob in the morning and you take a shower and you take 2 fingers with some soap, that you're going to get rid of Bob so you can sleep with Rick at night, that doesn't work. Bob's still there. What I'm saying is, when you take a shower and you wash your body, the soap in the water cleans your vagina. If you have a pungent smell from your vagina,
That's what I was going to ask you.
It usually means something's going on, right? So fishy smell can be a bacterial infection. It's called BV. Is prevalent when I say self-cleaning. So with BV means you have bacteria, overgrowth of bacteria. When you have a yeast infection, you have an overgrowth of yeast in your vagina, right? Usually, if I treat you for yeast, I'm going to assume I'm going to have to treat you for bacteria and vice versa, just because you want your vagina. Okay, let me say it again. We want your vaginal pH balance to be normal. So too much of one of the other can throw that off. So multiple partners, for instance, can make you have an overgrowth of bacteria in your vagina. So you have BV. BV, now I'm going to get real descriptive right now, and people are not going to believe me. Most times when you have an infection, we do send off a culture, but this is how we diagnose BV. We diagnose BV with a sniff test. And let me tell you, you have got to love your job if you stick a Q-tip in someone's vagina because they say they think their vagina smells. You pull it out and you sniff it. That is the test. And if that smells like fish, rotten fish, and I've smelt it too many times.
Seriously?
Does this face look like I'm kidding? It means you have BV. It smells like fish. Trick is another one that smells like fish, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
What is that?
Trichinosis. It's like a, that is like a, oh God, Tiffany, why do you have to put me on the spot like this? It's a sexually transmitted infection. You guys, I can't even think of the name of it, but it is a parasitic infection, whereas
some of them are it's in the same family, basically.
It causes, okay, so also with okay, so BV, you do the sniff test. Yeast infections are so common. This is why I say, ladies, I've said vagina so many times, but I really do call it kitty cat. Your kitty cat needs to breathe. Okay? So cotton underwear, if you want to wear your silk underwear, make sure it has a cotton, like little line, like the little thing in the panties in the bottom. You want cotton down there. You want to sleep with no underwear on. I know you don't want to, in my opinion, you don't want to encourage your little ones to like not sleep with underwear because, you know, they go over, they have sleepovers. We don't know what's happening in other people's houses. You might want to put a, disclaimer, you sleep with no underwear at home. So when you put on the PJs, don't put on underwear and the PJs, just put on the PJs. You want kitty cat to get air. It has to breathe. I heard someone say the other day, it's like a mouth. If your mouth is closed too long, it's bacteria, and when you open your mouth, it's just like, what is happening? But your vagina's like that. The kitty cat needs to breathe. So cotton underwear, if you're wearing underwear, at night, let it air out. When you take a shower, you bathe with soap and water, let it rush over your vagina. You're not douching. You're not pushing things up in your vagina. It throws off your pH balance, which you're going to end up with a yeast infection. And if you're having sex, you're going to end up with a BV.
Well, when are you supposed to use a douche? Why do they even make them?
Back in the day, I don't think that I don't see advertisements or anything for douching anymore. But I do know that we come from families that our grandparents and our great grandparents weigh heavily in our decisions. Like, you're supposed to have a period every month. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. That is not true. You can get on birth control and not have a period every month and you're fine. Yeah. That's like, if you don't douche It's fine. I mean, if your vagina smells like,
anything other than just
normal, then you need to go
doctor.
to your physician. You need to figure out what it is. A lot of women get nervous when they have discharge. 99% of females discharge every day. Some people don't. I have friends now who talk about the fact that they go commando, and I'm like, girl, I'm not one of those people because, I'm juicy. That's what they say. I'm juicy. Meaning I got fluid, you don't. I'm not going commando, but everybody's different, but discharge is normal. That's some of your self-cleaning, right?
Oh yeah, you just
your self-cleaning.
It's like a little oven. It's a little hot box.
Yeah, just like we gotta get everything in there out. It's normal, people. It's normal.
But you need to maintain healthiness, healthy habits.
Yeah.
So if you do smell something that is not a normal smell coming from your body,
and I'm not talking about because you went and ran 26 miles and you come home. Like
you
that's
need to go to the doctor. You need to investigate. It's not normal. It's like when you go to the grocery store or when you open
when you open fish and you're like, it's supposed to be fresh and you're like, good God.
Or you even
that is BV.
Yeah.
That is the smell of BV. When you open fish from the grocery store and they sold you old fish.
Yeah, or you open like chicken and you always if you open
and it's
chicken
slimy
and you're
and
about
sticky.
or if you open a package and some food smells, you're not going to eat it, are you?
Yeah.
No.
And guys won't either.
So there's a lot of misnomers out there about STDs, about birth controls, hygiene. There are a lot of myths.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people telling you things like I heard or TikTok said or Instagram said. No.
And this one, and I think that we forgot to talk about this one. If someone tells you that they can't get pregnant with pre-cum, they're lying to you. Cum is cum. Whether it's pre,
post,
or during. It's the same sperm. You can get pregnant. That's the same thing as I can't get pregnant the first time. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
I'm sure you know people right now.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
I mean, there's just there's so many. I mean, we could probably sit here and list like the BS we've heard in our lifetime.
You cannot get pregnant if you have sex while you're on your period.
You cannot?
You cannot. When you're on your period, you cannot get pregnant.
That's not a misnomer.
That's not. That is truth.
Because you're shedding.
You're shedding.
So you don't have
shedding.
And it's not going to stay up in there long enough to get you pregnant.
Nope.
Well, see, we have a truth.
You have the whole cycle to get
So I think that we would encourage anybody out there to maybe send us like some things that you've heard that you don't know it's
true. Tell us what you need information about. Like we've said, this is a tribe.
Because Dr. Tracy has access to all kind of.
We want to know what I have heard so many stories. Nothing makes me blush. Nothing makes me not speak my truth.
And she loves saying the word vagina and penis.
Vagina, penis. No, I really am very passionate about women's health. We produce life. We carry life. We deliver life into this world. And I think that there's so many things that we have to maneuver in life. We're always going to be secondhand citizens to a male. We come out having to prove ourselves. And if I can help in any way to clarify anything, to make it easier, to feed your questions with like knowledge, and I can give you references. If you don't believe what I'm saying or you want proof,
and
I can give it to you. I will put up references anytime you need. I just need you to be able to trust what I'm saying. And if you don't trust it,
and know that we're never going to put information out there.
Why do I keep saying text?
I don't know.
Write in, email.
You don't even answer text messages.
I don't.
But, Tracy is not going to put out medical information that she hasn't double checked. If she doesn't know it, she's not going to
tell you that I don't know.
She's going to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we might not find out in that podcast.
But I will get back to you. I will have an answer for you. We want you swinging from the chandeliers, embracing your sexual.
But we don't want you to do it with wrong information.
We want you to come to the party equipped with a really nice, silky, sexy dress.
But know your stuff.
And, you
have power.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. But, I think if we could go like under hypnosis, well, I would have to. You remember everything.
Yeah.
Under hypnosis to remember like some of our teenage conversations behind closed doors and some of the things that we thought.
But we did know that you could get pregnant the first time.
Yeah, we did always
and
know
that God was not.
No.
God didn't. God was saying, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't. Your mom is going to kill you. Don't do it.
Don't have that party.
Don't do it.
But we will. This is a great topic. And I think that we'll probably come back to it.
We have to, like when like I said, my godchild, she's 16. She heard the birth control and I'm sitting over dinner talking about fellatio and like STIs and oral sex. I'm like, oh, what? No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But I am ready for you guys. So literally, come on. Keep the conversation going.
Because we know there's lots of different things that we've never
I know you have so many opinions about what we said today. And as always, I hope we made it make sense. For you YouTubers out there, we even had some pictures to go along with that. And like I said, click, subscribe, comment, email us. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know any silly topic you want us to talk about. Because
we'll talk about anything.
We will talk about anything. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching Truth and Tonic for Women. If you have any questions, leave a comment and let us know. Also, follow us on social media to interact with the community. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.